Danny, a frustrating night in the rain for the O's tonight.
Yes, very much so. Very disappointed, obviously, with the scoreline, with no points. The teams around us won, so it's made the challenge of staying up even harder. My biggest criticism there with the boys was, and I'll get to the positives in a minute, but the biggest criticism was the goal 2 minutes in the second half. I think that's maybe 9 goals now this season we've conceded within 5 minutes of the second half, which I'm not a big stat fan, but that's not good enough, and unfortunately it's a big reason over the course of the season while we're down there, and it might not be too popular with people listening, is one of my few negatives tonight.
Giving yourselves a chance at the break as well, obviously 2-1 with Paul pulling one back.
Yes, yeah, I said to the boys at half time, if you sort of let them get on you like that, and you sort of see out the storm, so to speak, keep it a 0-0, then you can go up the gears and start attacking, that's fine. But once you concede, dropping off that much, and you concede again, it's hard, and you have to go through the gears a lot quicker, which is what we did. So going in at half time, I was pleased with the response, and obviously that when it goes 3-1, it as much as you can't say at the time, it is game over. And then at 4-1, you're thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be 5 or 6, and it wasn't, and the young lads stuck with it. We're unlucky not to get a couple of goals back in the end, but no, a disappointing score and some poor goals conceded.
Positives, the performance of Freddie and Stephen off the bench, so give them a chance.
Yeah, and Sarge, and Miles, and Clarkey, and Josh Karoma, and Victor. There's a lot of them. And I'll say a few things tonight that might not go down too well with people who obviously want us to stay up, no one more than me, but there's been a lot of looking backwards at this club and a lot of reaction as opposed to proactive behaviour, and I can't help in my mind but just try and plan a team for the next games, for the next years. I'm looking at some of those lads at 18, 19 and at 18, 19, what they can be like at 22, at 23. Now it's difficult because people, myself included, go home and you see the league table and go, they don't want to hear things like that, and I do understand that. But there is so much to be optimistic about with this team, regardless of the issues and the disappointments people have with the club the last couple of years. This team, I think next year and the year after, will come back so stronger. And when I say come back, I don't necessarily mean from the conference, although we know that's a possibility. But my point was, after that Plymouth game, everyone was a bit, myself included, buzzing and a bit carried away. That you can see these things down the line. Someone who's been in football for a long time, and I'm not an experienced manager, but even then you see the players we got, the group we've got, and the way the club's gone. And you're not suddenly going to go and win 6 on the trot. It would be lovely to be a springboard. You look at Kelly's out all of a sudden, Park's out all of a sudden. What are you going to do? And not one of them, even the older pros. There was mistakes tonight. There was bad goals, but they're not hiding. And I've been involved in a lot of teams myself where in these situations players go missing. They suddenly get funny injuries from nowhere, and they don't really want to be out there. And no one showed that. And I've said to you a few times in the interviews, I can't help but be proud of their attitude. Disappointing goals, 100%. Whether you're 17 or 35, poor goals to concede. But the young lads hopefully will learn so much from this, and they will benefit the football club in the future.